So what inspired you to write your book, and how do you hope it will impact and benefit the readers?
So what inspired me, the name of my book is Investing Made Easy, A Family Affair. My grandchildren and the children I work with in my nonprofit actually inspired me. It started off as an adult book. I was writing for adults in order to give them some practical steps on how to get to the point of where you are actually leaving wealth. Because at the end, that's what it ends up with. But because my heart is with kids, I kept bringing, because it's a workbook too. So it is really that sit down at the kitchen table with your kids and let's go through a chapter together.
It's time for the Tina Ramsey Show. It's time to share.
Hello, everybody. I am Dr. T&J Ramsey, the host of the Tina Ramsey Show and podcast, powered by CTR Media Network. And we are here today at the LitCon South Carolina event that is by the amazing Nina Webb. And she has her own publishing company called Blue Impressions Publishing. And today we have the CEO of the 611 Summit, the place where we're having this extravaganza. Okay, and so but she's also an author too. So I wanted you guys to get to know her and hear a little bird's eye view about her book, about her. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
No, I am so happy to finally get you to sit down to have an interview. So I'm like, yeah. Okay, so Dr. Rhonda, tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, as well as just a small overview of your book, not the whole thing.
Okay, I won't do the whole thing because they need to buy the book.
Exactly,
okay.
That's why.
So I am Dr. Rhonda Stinson Boyd. I am an investor at heart, and that's how I ended up with this building. Besides, I also run a nonprofit, and we needed space, and so that's how the building came about. And so anybody that's interested in investing, do it. And if you're afraid to do it, call me. I'll help walk you through it. So investor at heart, really financial literacy and leaving generational wealth. My thing is that I help women create, keep, and leave legacy and wealth. Not just books, not just items, but actually leaving money, because the next generation needs money. They need a leg up. They need options, and that's the difference between our culture and other ones. Is that we don't think about that option. It's that saying of I had to work for it, so they got to work for it too. Well, yeah, they have to work for it, but can we help them a little bit get started?
I like that philosophy because you're right. As African Americans, we put $2 trillion on average a year into the economy, but yet our economy suffers so much because it's a gap between financial literacy as well as just
wealth building.
We just don't know, and we're used to struggling in the challenge.
Right.
And now we need to get used to passing down the legacy and the knowledge so that we can keep it. So what inspired you to write your book, and how do you hope it will impact and benefit the readers?
So what inspired me, the name of my book is Investing Made Easy, A Family Affair. My grandchildren and the children I work with in my nonprofit actually inspired me. It started off as an adult book. I was writing for adults in order to give them some practical steps on how to get to the point of where you are actually leaving wealth. Because at the end, that's what it ends up with. But because my heart is with kids, I kept bringing, because it's a workbook too. So it is really that sit down at the kitchen table with your kids and let's go through a chapter together. And you sit down and have those conversations. I saw a study, 1 out of 5 women actually talk about money with their family and friends. So we're not even talking about, and that includes investing, saving, money, anything. So the goal is to start the conversation and start having the right conversations. Because again, we look at debt, we talk about debt a little bit, but we don't talk about debt. We try not to. It's a 4-letter word, which we feel like it is a sin to be in debt because we're supposed to be the lenders and not the borrowers. But when we do it, it's like I tell them, like, you had your fun, so now let's clean it up.
Exactly.
But it actually takes you through step by step on actually talking with your kids, and how do your kids supposed to know how to manage money if they don't have it? So that's probably one of the most controversial chapters that's in there, because I talk about allowance. And we're not used to giving kids allowance, but it's like, how do you teach someone to manage something that they don't have? It doesn't.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
Yeah, that don't make sense. You're trying to do it in theory. That's why we in theory in debt, and that's the reason why they're in theory in debt when we get out of school, because it's like, no, I'm not going to pay them to stay in my house. Well, you don't have to. Give them a job then within the house, if that's your thought process. But I talk about it in the book as far as using their age as a guide. So if they're 14, then their monthly allowance will be $140. So you're just adding a zero. But it's every 2 weeks. So that's only $70. Yeah, $70 every 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness, you give us the roadmap, because for most of us, we didn't even have that type of teaching ourselves. Most households, like you said, did not grow with an allowance, not in African American households. Not saying that we don't have it, because we do, but I'm just saying for the majority that I know growing up, we didn't talk about it. And so the fact that you're talking about that, but then you're giving us a roadmap, because it's one thing to tell somebody to do something, but it's the how. And you're telling us the how so that we can change it.
Correct.
To change it, we can execute it. So, as a featured author here at the LitCon event, presented by Blue Impressions Publishing, what aspect of this event are you most looking forward to today?
The speakers. The speakers. I know there's going to be some speakers that's revealing some new things that they're bringing out. But actually being able to hear the wealth of knowledge, because it's not just about publishing the books, it's about teaching and going beyond the book. And actually hearing people's story of, like, how did it get started? And what's keeping it going, and why do I need it?
Exactly.
So, but it really meeting new people, the networking, and actually hearing the featured speakers speak.
So when we think about LitCon in general, it aims to provide all of us with the unique insight, like you were speaking about life and being an author. But based on your experiences, what key advice would you offer to ones who are aspiring to become an author?
Get started.
Well,
Get started. I feel like everybody has a story. Now, your personal story, if no one knows you, your book might not sell, but there was a lesson that was learned in your personal story. So what you do is you take that lesson that was learned to actually be able to now produce and tell your story around the lesson that you learned. And then get a mentor. I mean, when I did this, it was so this one is on my own. My first one was a collaboration book, but I was invited. I saw somebody post a flyer on Facebook, because I'm with Book Profits Club, and someone posted a flyer, and I knew who the person was, and I'm like, I know she don't do no shady stuff, so it was like, oh, let me try it. The process was so easy. Like, it's not as hard to write the book as you think. Part of it is just getting started, and it shouldn't take you all day. And there's people that's writing books within 3 days if you sit down and actually do it. But your story is your story, and there's lessons behind your story. So there's always a lesson behind everything that we've done, because this was behind a lesson too. Like, and I'll talk a little bit about it when I talk, but yeah.
All right. Well, Dr. Rhonda, I am so excited about this particular book, because it's one thing to make the money, but we want to keep the wealth.
Correct.
Two different things.
That is.
Anybody can make money, but how do you keep the wealth and pass it on? Because you gave me a statistic yesterday, which I thought was remarkable, when you said that we can leave our children all of this legacy, but what happens?
Yeah, and within 2 to 3 years, it's gone. Yeah, so if you're not teaching your kids, you can leave $1 million policy. If they split it up and don't know how to manage it, they're going to lose it. And even though they might have bought a house in cash, did you tell them it's taxes that they still got to pay on it?
That part.
So yeah, so it's like, it's those little things that, when you come into it, mine was a lesson. Too. Mine was birthed out of a lesson that I could have did something better, but when you know better, you do better.
Exactly.
And that's what it takes.
Well, Dr. Rhonda, I want to thank you so much for giving me some time to sit down. You guys, you'll be seeing me over here at the 611 again.
Yes,
Listen, if you are a business and you're looking for a space here in Columbia, South Carolina, give Dr. Rhonda a call.
Yes.
And make sure to let her know that you saw it on Tina Ramsey show. All right, so thank you so much for stopping by, and I am so excited about this book in particular because anything dealing with lasting legacy, I'm all over.
Yes.
So anything else you want to share with our audience before we go?
Yeah, well, I want to give my contact information on how to get in contact with me. You can contact me at www.bankonyourselfebook.com. By going there, you'll get my free masterclass when you go there. But if you want to order the book, you can order the book from there, but you can get in contact with me there. And again, that is www.bankonyourselfebook.com.
All right. Thank you so much for
You are
stopping by.
welcome. Thank you.
I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Have you heard about Book Authority's best new podcasting book winner, which is Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, for her book, The Power of Podcasting, Unlocking Tips and Strategies for Podcasting Success. This book is your podcasting coach in a book. She is sharing so many strategies. This book reached #1 twice on Amazon for new release and best-selling book. So go ahead to ctrmedianetwork.com to purchase your copy today, or simply place your order on amazon.com today and unleash the power of podcasting. CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.